Have you ever wondered if those little quirks you have might actually reveal something deeper about your personality? What if I told you that some of your most unusual habits could be signs that you're far more empathetic than you realize? Today, we're diving into 8 surprising behaviors that might indicate you possess a rare gift for understanding and connecting with others. Before we jump in, let me ask you something. Do you find yourself doing things that others might consider strange or unnecessary? Maybe you apologize to inanimate objects when you bump into them, or perhaps you feel genuinely sad when throwing away old belongings. If any of this sounds familiar, you might want to stick around because what you're about to discover could change how you see yourself entirely. Empathy isn't just about crying during movies or feeling bad when someone gets hurt. It's a complex emotional intelligence that manifests in ways we rarely recognize. Scientists have discovered that highly empathetic individuals often develop unique behavioral patterns that seem unrelated to emotional sensitivity, but actually stem from their deep connection to the world around them. Let's start with the first unusual habit. Do you find yourself apologizing to objects when you accidentally bump into them or knock them over? This might seem silly to others, but research suggests that people who anthropomorphize inanimate objects often have heightened empathetic responses. When you say sorry to a chair you walked into, you're unconsciously extending your capacity for consideration beyond living beings. This reflects an expanded sense of awareness and respect for your environment that empathetic people naturally develop. The second habit involves your relationship with old belongings. Empathetic individuals often struggle to throw away items that hold memories, even when they're no longer useful. This isn't just sentimentality or hoarding tendencies. When you feel sad about discarding a worn-out stuffed animal or an old book, you're actually demonstrating your ability to form emotional connections with objects that represent relationships, experiences, or feelings. Your brain is wired to recognize the emotional significance in things that others might see as mere clutter. Here's where it gets really interesting. The third habit is something called emotional temperature regulation. Do you find yourself adjusting your clothing or environment based on how you think others might feel? Maybe you turn up the heat when guests come over, even if you're comfortable, or you offer jackets to people who haven't complained about being cold. This anticipatory caretaking behavior shows that you're constantly scanning your environment for potential discomfort in others, even when they haven't expressed any needs. The fourth unusual habit involves your response to fictional characters or stories. Highly empathetic people often develop elaborate backstories for minor characters in books, movies, or TV shows. You might find yourself wondering about the lives of background actors, or feeling concerned about what happens to side characters after the story ends. This mental habit demonstrates your natural inclination to see the humanity in everyone, even fictional beings who receive minimal development. Number 5 is particularly fascinating. Do you find yourself mirroring the energy levels of people around you, sometimes to an exhausting degree? Empathetic individuals often unconsciously match the emotional intensity of others, leading to what researchers call emotional contagion. You might become hyperactive around energetic people, or feel drained after spending time with someone who's going through a difficult period. This isn't weakness. It's evidence of your highly responsive mirror neuron system. The sixth habit involves your relationship with animals and plants. Empathetic people often talk to their pets as if they're having genuine conversations, complete with pauses for imagined responses. You might also find yourself encouraging plants to grow or feeling genuinely upset when a houseplant dies despite your best efforts. This extended emotional investment in non-human life forms shows that your empathetic responses aren't limited by species boundaries. Here's something that might surprise you. The seventh habit is overthinking social interactions long after they've ended. If you frequently replay conversations in your mind, analyzing tone, body language, and potential hidden meanings, you're demonstrating advanced social cognition. While this can be mentally exhausting, it reflects your deep investment in understanding others and ensuring you haven't inadvertently caused harm or missed important emotional cues. The eighth and final habit is perhaps the most revealing. Empathetic individuals often experience physical symptoms in response to others' pain or discomfort. This isn't just feeling bad when someone gets hurt. It's actually experiencing phantom sensations when you see someone else injured. Your nervous system is so attuned to others that it sometimes can't distinguish between their experiences and your own. Now, you might be thinking that some of these habits sound more like problems than gifts. It's true that high empathy can be overwhelming and exhausting. The key is learning to recognize these traits as strengths while developing healthy boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. Understanding these unusual empathetic habits can be incredibly validating. If you've ever felt weird or overly sensitive, knowing that these behaviors stem from a genuine psychological gift can help you embrace, rather than suppress, these tendencies. Empathy is a superpower that allows you to connect with others in profound ways. But like any superpower, it requires conscious management. So how many of these habits do you recognize in yourself? Remember, being highly empathetic isn't about being perfect or always knowing what others need. It's about having a natural inclination to care deeply about the experiences of others, sometimes in ways that seem unusual to the outside world. If this video helped you understand yourself better, consider sharing it with someone who might also benefit from this insight. Sometimes the most beautiful thing we can do is help others recognize their own hidden gifts.